Life After Death, A Journey That Never Ends by Neil Donald Walk, um, Chapter 31. The individual moments of your life are what you use it to create your experience of self. Now, isn't that fascinating how close is Elizabeth's experience to what actually happens after death? It is what happened to her as she moved deeper and deeper into the passage between physical life and the spiritual realm. As I said very early in our conversation, the experience is different from everyone in many respects, and there are some things that occur in every case. The life review is one of them. But that life review sounds as if it could be painful. I mean, some of the moments from my own life might be unpleasant, either because of something that I experienced, or because of what I now notice I caused someone else to experience. There is no pain or discomfort at all. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Remember that you dropped your sense of personal identity with your mind, and with the thoughts you've heard about yourself there. In the second stage of that, in the third stage, you merge it with the one in C. You go back to cosmos. And in that moment of emergency, I stepped away from my last sense of personal identity with the individual aspect of being that I have called me. I stood aside from me, seeing me clearly, but not identify at any emotional level with the being that I was seeing. Good, you understand. Now, as we return to our metaphor, you are in the third stage of death. You've passed through the moment of emergency, and as you now experience in fullness see the core of your being, you see all that is in the art gallery, all the experiences of your life, and you can look at them objectively as if you were flipping through a picture book or watching a movie or studying a great work of art, which each experience is. You study each moment until you feel that you understand it. Then you move on to the next image, the next moment, the next painting. In this way, you move through and around the entire gallery. You make sure that you have seen the complete collection. Every moment is important to you because you realize as you examine the individual moments of your life that those moments are what you use to create your experience of self. And as soon you are going to decide how you wish to recreate yourself anew. Okay, hold it 1 minute. I'm confused about one thing. I know this is all a metaphor and not really how it is. Describing how it is without using metaphor would make it visually impossible for you to comprehend. I understand, but even knowing this a metaphor, even knowing this is a metaphor, I have to pick it apart a little. This is one thing I'm not clear about. I thought I regained my identity when I emerged from the relationship, when my meeting with God was over. Otherwise, how would I know who I am? You do. Then, how is it that I can go through this life review, take a look at all the pictures of moments from my life, just leave it and not feel anything? I've done some pretty ugly things. I'm sorry to say, and a few nice things too. How is it if I have regained the identity that I shed in the early stages of death, that I don't have any feelings of sadness or happiness or suffering over that? So he wished that he'd been punished for what he had done. But all this is again, the script is given to you already. So I understand, but even knowing this is a metaphor, I have to pick it apart a little. There is one thing I'm not clear about. I thought I regained my identity when I emerged from the essential, when my meeting with God was over. Otherwise, how would I know who I am? You do. Then how is it that I can go through this life review, take a look at all these pictures of moments from my life and sleep and did not feel anything? I've done some pretty ugly things, I'm sorry to say, and a few nice things too. How is it if I have regained the identity that I shared in the early stage of death, that I don't have any feelings of sadness or happiness or suffering over that? When you meet with God, which means meld with the cosmos, is over, you regain your awareness of the limited identity that you held in your last lifetime. True, but you do not move back into that identity. Rather, you experience yourself as much larger than that, much more unlimited. Let me see if I can draw an analogy of my own just to see if I really understand this. Go. I've spent a lot of years in the theater, working both community and professional theater in six states. So this is how I suddenly find myself thinking about what you are telling me. It would be as if I had stepped off stage after playing a role in which I had very limited abilities or skills, then took off my costume, yeah, took off the mask, take out your mask, show your face now, changed it into my street clothes and stepped it out of the theater and into the world as a fully capable and powerful being. On the outside of the theater, there's a marquee display with flashing travel lights and photos of me and many of the key scenes from the show. I see myself in these pictures in which I am grimacing or smiling or crying or shouting with terrible anger. But of course, I have no internal or emotional reaction to any of this. I know it's not me that I'm standing there. Look at these photos. But when I was inside on the stage, being the clown, being the acting actress, the suffering and the pain and the joy that I displayed not only felt very real to the audience, it even felt real to me. That's how good an actor I am. Still, looking at the photos now, I see how I might have played some of the scenes even better, or changed some scenes altogether. And so I determined to do that at the next performance. Yeah, all this is a real trick agenda. Oh, you not did better. You could have acted better. So you have to go back to finish up your plays. Then I'm on my way. First stop, the library, where you're gonna pick up the pieces again and see from which the place of the blocks, which kind of blocks you want to, the puzzle you want to take, which one you want to discard. I want to know more about this character that I'm playing. Then on my way, first stop the library. I want to know more about this character that I'm playing. Bra Bravo! That's very good analogy. That's very close to what you experience as you move through the core of your being, reviewing the art gallery of moments from your life. And as you leave the core of your being, you do, in a sense, go to the library to find out more about your character. Oh, I don't know what to say. But you've been so broad, very close to experience you move through the core of your being, revealing the art gallery of the moments from your life. And as you leave the core of your being, you do in a sense go to the library to find out more about your character. But please tell me again, Why do I bother? Why ever leave the core? Part of me keeps wondering, even after all this explanation. You are right. You deserve an explanation, all right? Why do why would I ever leave this she? Why wouldn't I remain a master forever? Wouldn't that be heaven? Is the nature of life to express itself and the duality, yes, and the I mean, in this universe, yes, the universe of duality, yes, but you don't have to go straight away, mess from there, and go back again to this no sense suffering. That's what life does. It cannot not do this, or it not be. Now, change the word life in the above sentence. Notice that life can also be called God, that which is the essence, the energy, or whatever else you wish to call it. No matter what word you use, you are still talking about life. In the process of self-expression, life quite literally expresses itself. That is, it pushes itself out from itself, giving birth to itself as an aspect of itself, that it might know itself and its own experience. That is a handful there. There's a lot to digest. Take this slowly, take it easily, consider thought by thought, concept by concept. First, in the process of self-expression, life quite literally expresses itself. Second, to express means to push out. Life pushes itself out from itself, because otherwise it will be very boring. So the cosmos, all need to express itself. It is minuscule fractions. Third, in a sense, a fractal. Study, in a sense, it gives birth to itself as an aspect of itself. Fourth, it does this so that it might know itself in its own experience, because it knows itself to be only theoretically, you see. So it needs to put it all this theory into practices. Otherwise, it will not know what it's all about and what it's able to be or do. Okay? That's what it really means to be born again. That's exactly what it means. And I'm born again and I move away from the core so that I am, in your words now, may better come to know what I encountered at the core as real through the perspective of distance. Well, you've captured it perfectly. This is what the process of death and birth is all about. You are constantly moving to and from the core of your being, that you might know and experience the true nature of who you are. You use distance to know and to experience the totality as a discrete or singular expression of itself. For when the totality is the totality, it experiences all the totality and none of its constituent parties. So where we are captured it perfectly, this is what the process of death and birth is all about. You are constantly moving to and from the core of your being, that you might know and experience the true nature of who you are. You use distance to know and to experience the totality as discrete or singular expressions of itself. For when the totality is the totality, when it's all in its own, it has ensued of split, it experiences all the totality in a knowing of its parts or fractal, understand, or avatars. What if I can't be any better than I just was? What if I have experienced total mastery in the life I have just lived? Then what? Will the cycle end? No. You will simply redefine mastery. I'll raise the bar. Yes. So he asked, what if I can't be any better than I just was? What if the all cannot be better? What if I have experienced total mastery in the life I have just lived? Then what? Will the cycle end? When the all already find out all there is, will the cycle end? It it cannot happen because the all is always in the process of find out who it is. And what it is infinite, you understand? Is immense, is something that you cannot count, is infinite forever and ever and ever and ever more. There is no beginning and no end to it, you understand? So in a sense, there's no end to anything. So all this is not the end of the world or that there's hell, all nonsense. Don't believe that, right? Don't believe all this spiritual dogma out there talking nonsense about fear-based tactics and religions, uh, teachings and information are all they lead you into the road of fears. So the being replied to Neil, no, you will simply redefine mastery. What's mastery? So you're gonna redefine and go on. I will raise the bar, yes, so that the game can go on, so that the process can continue. Yes, it is the desire in the nature of life to produce more life and to produce it more abundantly. Everything grows, and there is no such thing as the end of evolution. Good, that's correct. Remember that always, for there is evolution in the physical, but spiritually speaking, we are all evolved already. However, as you have things to carry on, like say the body, you are having this body, you are doing this body, so you need to evolve. And same the physical atoms need redefinition. Okay, but not the essence, not who you are, not the consciousness which you are. Okay, the 15th remembrance. There is no such thing as the end of evolution. I have already described to you the cycle of everlasting life, because you seek to recreate yourself anew, as does all of life. You will move into the spiritual realm, in which you will come to know and understand more of who you are and who you choose to be. Then you will return to the core of your being and back out into the physical world, traveling the same corridor of time in a different way or a different corridor together, so that you may know and you experience see what it is like to be who you have chosen to be. So I'm gonna the fifth sacred remembrance, there's no such thing as the end of evolution. I have already described to you the cycle of everything, of everlasting life, because you seek to recreate yourself anew, as does all of life. You will move in the spiritual realm, in which you will come to know and understand more of who you are and who you choose to be. Then you will return to the core of your being and back out into the physical world, traveling the same corridor of time in a different way or a different corridor together, so that you may know in your experience see what it is like to be who you have chosen to be. But how will I come to know who I want to be? I don't understand about that. When do I choose that? You will choose that when you respond to the full inquiry. Ah, finally. So now, that's it for now for chapter 31.